right, I'm here today with Brad Stevens, CEO and founder of Outsourcing for Entrepreneurs, Wharton and Harvard grad, top-rated speaker, author, and growth through outsourcing expert. Brad, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
We also got Doug Evans, director of marketing, and my fearless partner in crime, but mainly podcast. Thanks, Doug.
That's right.
And to clarify on that one, so I went to Harvard my beginning of my undergraduate and graduated from Wharton, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, in my background. But interesting story there. I'll explain.
Well, let's get into it now. Just maybe start off with an overview of who you are, what you're all about, and what you do for a living.
Sure. So Brad Stevens. I'm actually a rare native of Atlanta. You don't find that too much these days. I grew up on the south side of town. Grew up in an entrepreneurial family. So kind of had a whiteboard like permanently hanging over like the fireplace growing up with, ideas and things flying around. Actually had a micro machine rental business in third grade and had a tutoring company in high school. So entrepreneurship has kind of been in my blood, kind of always. And so after graduating from college, and so when I graduated, I got into Harvard and went, but they didn't have any undergraduate business programs. All they had was economics. And so I went and, couldn't turn it down. It was an amazing opportunity. But I don't know, I didn't connect as much with economics, but I love the liberal arts side, and so I transferred to finish up down to University of Pennsylvania. So it was the only other Ivy school that had kind of the undergraduate business education and the liberal arts as well. So made the transfer down there and did Romance languages and liberal arts as well as finance and marketing. So I got to feed both sides of my brain in the process, and after I graduated, moved back to Atlanta and started my first entrepreneurial venture, and that's all I've done in the last 20 years is build companies in different industries, from manufacturing and distribution, professional services. So it's been an interesting road, a lot of ups and downs, but a lot of education, along the way.
Yeah, and so that education, Ivy League schools, how does that affect you personally and professionally, maybe whether it be positive or negative, the competitiveness, the status of the Ivy League school, how does that affect your journey?
It's interesting. I've had that conversation from a branding standpoint. Where does it serve you or hurt you when you're kind of working with small business owners, for them to be able to kind of relate to where you're kind of coming from? And despite growing up in small business, America, it can give a different perception. But amazing schools, great education, great experience. But honestly, as an entrepreneur, so much of it just happens on the job, right? You just have to take these journeys and figure things out. I'll say that from an undergraduate education standpoint, college, I think more than anything, it's about going and living on your own and dealing where you got to feed yourself and take care of yourself. And it was certainly a very competitive environment, and learned a lot of innovative things and met a lot of great people. And I would say that probably accounting was probably one of the most practical things that I took away, because you just got to know numbers in business. And a lot of times entrepreneurs don't sit down and kind of figure out, will this make money or not, before I kind of go down that path. So that was really helpful. And a lot of the marketing kind of frameworks that I learned were helpful. But a lot of it, literally, I'd signed with a company when I graduated to work here in Atlanta. And about 2 weeks before I was supposed to start, they ended up going under. It was actually in the investment banking space. So I had an option. I could either go get another job, so I had some other offers, or go down this entrepreneurial path, because I got to keep 3 months salary and or my signing bonus and 3 months severance pay. So it was a pretty good gig. Go find more companies going out of business.
There you go.
And so anyway, so that kicked off, and I decided to go down the entrepreneurial path, and that's kind of what I've done thus far.
Awesome.
So also, you mentioned that you grew up in an entrepreneurial family. So can you just shed more light on, was it your parents, or what was kind of the backstory there?
Sure, yeah. It was actually my great-grandfather on my mom's side, my mom's grandfather, back before the days of Home Depot and Lowe's, when you wanted to go get wooden doors and windows and aluminum windows and doors down in Florida. You had to go to these lumber yards. And so so my great-grandfather started a business in that space, in creating materials and wood products for consumers as well as for home builders. And then my grandfather, my mom's father, kind of took that over and continued to grow it. And then my dad, when my mom married my dad, he jumped in and continued to help grow that part, but then saw a big opportunity back in, remember the days of the Blockbuster, right?
Yeah, ancient technology.
when video stores actually existed. So my dad actually helped kind of pioneer a division back when if you guys remember in Atlanta, there's one called Turtles Videos and Tapes.
Yeah, we had
Build
Turtles.
green and yellow.
Yeah.
So they helped actually build all of the fixtures for video rental stores and ended up doing a lot of the bigger chains around the country. And actually, my uncle's involved and my dad's brother in helping do some of the first software as it was related to checking video, movies kind of in and out.
Wow.
So I remember at our home, like there was the old school PC, and we actually had a family-owned kind of video store as kind of a test place to test stuff out. And so we'd sit there and enter in all the entry in those green screens with green text on them. So anyway, growing up around it, you just learn work ethic, you learn discipline. During the summers, I worked in the warehouse and sweep floors, and so you just get surrounded around the idea of constant flow of ideas and work ethic and discipline. But also trying to maintain the balance too, right? You kind of see both sides of that with work and family. And I'd say my parents did a pretty good job of that in the process.
In your blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say fuels you? What gets you up in the morning, excited, gets you out of neutral?
A lot of businesses I've been involved with in the past, I enjoyed the industry and the subject matter per se, but like my last business, we helped with a partner manufacturer and distributed teeth whitening products all over the world. All over the country, in the dental market, the beauty market, in about 18 countries internationally. And so I love the building part of the business. In terms of the subject matter, whitening, we're whitening people's smiles, which certainly had a emotional kind of impact. But where I'm at in my stage now with my company, it's being able to leverage that 20 years of knowledge and help these small business owners just overcome obstacles that they've been fighting forever with a solution that they never knew existed with some of the things that we share with them. And just got an email last night actually from a woman that's she's an executive coach, got a PhD, lives up in Maryland. She's been trying to grow her coaching business. She works with business owners and works with couples and does a lot of coaching and counseling, and just struggling to get it to that next place. And so she actually engaged with the programs and worked with her, and she sent this long email of just like how excited she is. She's got a virtual assistant now in the Philippines that's helped her get things out of neutral. She's super excited. It's helped her things that she can actually afford and implement that she didn't have prior. So 96% of the businesses in this country do less than $1 million in the United States. So they're small to medium businesses. It's the lifeblood of this country, and so the opportunity to go and offer insights and resources that they can actually afford and implement is pretty exciting to wake up to every day.
Oh, that's incredible. That's awesome. Are there any daily rituals you participate in or that you think are essential or you find in common from entrepreneurs day to day?
Everybody kind of has their own sort of path and how they operate. In my 20s, I was definitely not an early riser. Yeah. In my late 20s, especially in the teeth whitening business, we had a lot of overseas manufacturers, and so I was up late at night, working directly with them. But in my 30s, actually, so I ended up marrying a third grade teacher, and when we got together, she was actually teaching way north of the city, so she had to get up at like 4:35 in the morning, and so I learned to adopt to that schedule, and I tell you, it's made all the difference in the world. Is being able to get up. Bright-eyed, 4:35, have my coffee, and that's just when my most productive, time is. So early morning, getting cracking at the day makes a big difference. In terms of just scheduling and planning, there's more stuff than ever to do as entrepreneurs these days, and that's we find with a lot of people we work with, it's the overwhelm. It's just the inbox will just like consume half of your day, right? Managing email, and then all the other aspects of growing and building, and it's just got more complex these days than it ever has been. So, as much as I try, is have a rigorous session in the morning to block my week and block time and literally put time in my schedule, in my calendar, because I use this tool called Calendly that lets people book appointments, with me. But I go in there and block my calendar out for like 4-hour blocks every single day for the week. It's like, I've got to have white space time to think, or I'm going to get consumed in the business and the whirlwind nonstop, and not going to be able to step out. So, so that's something I've done that really makes a big difference, is create that space and time. And then having virtual assistants, man, it's game changing. They are able to get so much done. A lot of the research, managing my email, and just using virtual teams. Like one of the things I do when I get up in the morning is I do 2 or 3 blogs per week, right? And so a lot of how do you crank out content so fast, right?